Right, here's the front wheel from a pair of Royal Enfield Bullet wheels that I've been given to True, and the owner has told me that his bike feels quite wobbly and shaky, and no wonder when we look at this. One rotation of that clock is a millimetre. We're getting in the region of 3 millimetres run out side to side on that. And I'm going to also take the tyre off, because it's more than obvious that there's quite a bit of radial run out there. So I'll need to put the dial gauge on the inside face of the wheel rim anyway for measurements when I'm truing it up. So my next step with this is get the tyre off it, and then we'll start truing it up. I'm sure we can get it better than that. Here we have that Royal Enfield front wheel again, and I think I'm finished truing it. I've just got my string line across the rim here to hopefully demonstrate that there's well, any offset is actually central between in relation between the wheel rim and the hub. I've got my string line there just sort of coinciding with the ends of the spokes where they pass through the hub on that side, and if I put the camera down here carefully, hopefully it won't tip over, and I can pull the string around underneath, we should see hopefully that I've managed to do the same on this side. Hopefully the camera will pick that up. But that says to me that I've got the centre of the rim lined up with the centre of the hub as I want it, because the spokes are of equal lengths on both sides. There's inners and outers on both sides, but they're the same length as each other. So the next thing I'll do is I'll give it a spin, and as we know, one rotation of that clock face is a millimetre, so side to side run out on this one, including what I would call the blip, is within 3/4 of a millimetre. I'll just put the camera down again and we'll look at the radial run out when I set the dial gauge up for that, hopefully. And it is. We're actually within 3/4 of a millimetre, including the blip on that side as well. So that's pretty good, I'm happy with that. If you remember what the readings were before I took the tyre off. And last but not least, some music. 20 spokes aside, here we go. $20 there. $20 there, all playing pretty much the same note to my tone deaf ears anyway. So this wheel is ready for me to put the rim tape, tyre and tube back on, and then I'll have a look at the rear wheel. That's got to be a big improvement on what it was like before. I thought we'd just take one more quick look at this Royal Enfield front wheel after I trued it. Now I've got the tyre and tube and everything back on, tyre blown up. And that is about a sixth of the side to side run out we had before. We got well, 3/4 of a millimetre maximum there, say a quarter of what we had before then, because we had about 3 millimetres side to side throw before, but we also had vertical throw, which I pretty much got rid of. Look at the edge of the tyre there against the stuff behind it, you can see it's spinning nice and true and smoothly. No discernible throw. That's bound to make a big improvement. Well, I dealt with the front wheel off that Royal Enfield. Now here's the rear wheel, and I don't think I'm even going to bother putting the clock on this to look at the run out, because it's just incredible the amount of throw in that. Must have been like riding a clown's bike or sitting on a pogo stick, I think. I'm sure that the camera's picking that up. So I'll just get the tyre off this wheel and sew it up. That's terrible. And that combined with the front one the way it was, no wonder the guy was complaining about the bike getting shaky. But it can be put right, so that's what I'll be doing with it. Well, I said I wasn't going to film it, but I got the tyre off that Royal Enfield rear wheel now, and I've got the dial gauge set up on it. And look at that for some minute. You don't even need to look at the numbers really, do you? That is terrible, but it can be fixed. That's what I'm here for, and that's what the wheel's here for, so let's get on with it. Right, here we are with that rear wheel from the Royal Enfield again, and as can be seen I took the tyre and tube and everything off, and I've been working on it, truing it and straightening it out, and also centralising the rim relative to the centre of the hub. And I've got my string line here, and if I pull it across there, hopefully the camera will just about see it. You sort of see that the edge of the rim corresponds pretty much with the edge of the flange of the hub there on the drive side. And if I put the camera down here, I think we'll just about see underneath and see that we got largely the same there, where the string is lining up with the edge of the flange on that side as well. So I've got the rim nicely centered there relative to the hub. Get this out of the way now. Let's give the wheel a spin and check for side to side run out. Now there is a hell of a blip in the edge of the rim where the two ends, where the weld is, but other than that we're on the same clock, millimetre for a full turn, full revolution of the face. And apart from the blip where that weld is, we've got virtually no run out side to side. So that's good. Let's put this down, reset the clock up so that we can check on the radial run out. And here we go, we'll get a look at that. And a whisker over ½ millimetre, including the blip. So that's all very respectable. And lastly, the music, 20 spokes aside. There, and 20 there, all sounding near as damn it pretty much the same. So the next thing I'll do is I'll get the tyre and tube on, and then we'll have one last look at it when it's all ready to go back on the bike. Okay, to round off with these Royal Enfield wheels, we've had the before, the during and the after with the front wheel, and we've had the before and the during with this rear wheel, and now I've got the tyre back on, and we've seen it with the clock on it, and it's running nice and truly, well within limits, and this is what it's like with the tyre on. Hopefully we'll look against any fixed spot there. I've got that magnet stuck on that metal bulkhead on the workbench there. You can watch the edge of the tyre against that, or relative to the spindle even, and see that it's spinning nice and truly. I'm sure that's going to totally transform the motorbike that those two wheels were on, and it should be goodbye to the shakes and tremors on that Royal Enfield Bullet, I would think.